Good morning, America. Good afternoon from Germany. It is windy and rainy outside, and yeah, we will probably see the same today at the stock exchanges because we will have CPI, Consumer Price Index, and we will see some ups and downs at the stock market. So let's prepare for this. In about 14 minutes, we will have the news which will affect the market, and yeah, especially when the numbers are different from the expectations, then we will see some major movements. So let's see this here and start with the market right away. We are currently trading at 13,072 points for Nasdaq June future. Let's see this on a daily time frame. There was not a lot of movement over the Easter weekend, and yeah, we had a holiday here in Germany on Monday, so no trading on German stock exchanges. Yesterday there were no major events, therefore no live stream from my side, but today we will have CPI and therefore I will live stream again. But you see, we are just sideways trading in this range we were discussing on previous Thursday, and there we see on previous Wednesday, it was 1 week the last live stream, and there we see that the important psychological 13,000 point level is a major supporting area here, and right below is sitting the parabolic dot and as well the 20-day exponential moving average. So we will see if we are able to cross it today with CPI news, or if we go to the upside again and try to retest previous high point 13,348 points. So this will be a major resistance here. I will try to short if we reach it again, and yeah, another short can also be interesting if we go below the 13,000 level. Previous lows were 12,952 and 12,967. So these levels here, I will just draw another line, will be important. And you see there's the parabolic dot, so there may be a smaller supporting level here, but if we see enough volume and pushing below, then probably we can see more sell-off. But like always on CPI days, we see a lot of volume, a lot of volatility, therefore we will probably see to the up and downside some major movements here. So let's see ES future. Where's my ES chart? Did I close it? No, it's here. So for ES, almost the same. Sideways trading here at 4,139 points. Still above 9 EMA and 20 EMA level. Sitting above the 4,100. This was a major low in the previous trading days. You see here 4,099, 4,096.5, 4,098.75. So yeah, 4,100 is the important level here for ES future. If we can go lower, then it's probably more interesting to short here. And to the upper side, previous high point from yesterday, 4,151 points, and the previous high point here, 4,171 points from April 4th. Then let's see the interest rate expectations. Interest rate expectations have gone to the upside. So here, previous week we had about 50-50 for no change and 25 basis points, and now we see 76% expectation for a 25 basis points move. So it shifted again to the upside, and we see here the new high point 4.25% as interest rate expectation for the next meeting in 21 days. And then sitting there until June, and lower interest rates in July, and ending the year at 4.5%. So it went up a lot from the expected 3.75% we had 2 or 3 weeks ago. And yeah, we still have a high interest rate expectation. Let's see if there will be a shift with consumer price index today. We will have more inflation news this week. Today is CPI, tomorrow will be PPI, so this one will be also important, producer price index, but always more important will be CPI today. The expectation is 5.2%. The previous number was 6%. So again, a cool down in terms of inflation. It's a disinflation, it's not a deflation, it's just a disinflation. So a slower pace of inflation here. That's what the market and the Federal Reserve wants to see. lower rate here for the inflation rate, but of course we are still far away from the 2% target of the Federal Reserve. Therefore, we still need time to go back to the 2%. And the market will ask two questions. So if the Federal Reserve is able to bring down the inflation fast enough to the 2% target, or if the high interest rate level will affect the economy. And in my opinion, it probably will. So we will probably end in a recession. This will bring down inflation, of course, but will also bring down the economy in its whole, and therefore bring down the stock markets. So yeah, we are at this tipping point now, and this week with the CPI and PPI news will be really important to see if there is a cool down in economy. And we have seen the last week with the numbers from the labor market, we have seen the previous week, or let's see the previous week here. No, sorry, this. And we have seen a cool down in economy. So we have seen ISM manufacturing lower than expected. We have seen JOLTS job openings here lower than expected. We have seen ADP non-farm employment change lower than expected. And we have seen initial jobless claims higher than expected. And on Friday, non-farm payrolls almost in line here, but more important, private non-farm payrolls here lower than expected. And the unemployment rate is still unchanged here, or almost unchanged, 3.5% instead of the expected 3.6%. But we see a cool down here in terms of inflation. Average hourly earnings 4.2% instead of the expected 4.3%, and the previous number was 4.6%. So we can already see a cool down here in terms of inflation, and this is the beginning of the cool down of economy, which can end in a recession if the interest rates will stay for too long, too high, like the expectation currently is here. Okay, so let's see what the market will do with the numbers from CPI today. Sorry, this is German here. CPI today. Monthly number 0.2 and yearly number 5.2%. Core CPI monthly number 0.4 and the yearly number 5.6. So we see that the core inflation is still higher than the inflation overall. This is because of the high crude oil, or still high crude oil prices and electricity bills and so on. So the Federal Reserve is not able to affect the core, the CPI without is not able to affect the prices of crude oil and electricity. They can only do affect the core CPI here. So because there are lower prices now for crude oil, natural gas and others, let's talk about these futures here. Crude oil is trading sideways since last week, where we had the 1 million barrel per day cut from the OPEC. If we go further out in time, let's see this. I'm not able to scroll here. Why? So this is a weekly time frame, and we see we have lower crude oil prices, but yeah, we are now back in this high area in the $80 range. So previous high point $83 is still a target here. Should see some rejection there, but I don't want to trade it because we still have this open gap here, which can soon close if it tanks again. So I'm just watching, not trading crude oil, but you've certainly seen natural gas, and natural gas futures are trading lower. So for several days and weeks, and therefore there's less inflation here. From this side, we went to higher levels. Here you can see on Monday, this was a big move to the upside, more than 10%. And yesterday almost no change here, but tried to go back to the 225 level we were discussing last week. So this is an important level here. If we can close above the 225 and here especially the 226.6, which was a previous low point, then it is more interesting to trade it to the long side. Again, for now, just sideways trading. I'm still watching it, but probably taking some more longs here if we go above 227. So less inflation risk here from the commodity side with natural gas and crude oil, but still high inflation in the economy overall, especially because of the labor market and the high wage growth. Let's see some other stocks like Tesla. Where's Tesla here? So we went down yesterday to lows of $176, but could close higher at 184, so almost unchanged from Monday. Today struggling here at the neckline, $187, which was a previous low point. Let's see if we can come back higher, but my main target is still here at the $150 level, so still some room to the downside. And when the market overall will get to lower levels, then probably Tesla will get to lower levels as well. Let's see Nvidia. We were talking about Nvidia in the previous weeks. So still struggling here at the $280 level. We tried to get above again. $277.90 was the high point yesterday. And I said I will short at 283. Maybe we will not reach it, but maybe today is the day with CPI that we can see it again. And then I will try to enter some short trades here in Nvidia. And why? Because we had the previous high point there, no, on a weekly time frame. We had a previous high point here at $283.58 and here at $289.46. So this is my resistance zone where I want to short some Nvidia. But I won't short the stock, I will do it with options, so probably taking some long puts because the implied volatility is pretty low here. 3 minutes until we have the news, so let's just end it with German market. DAX is still strong. You see here we are near the, or even above the previous high points from March, trading yesterday 15,760 points and today 15,770 points, so pretty high, near the previous high points from last year. And here you see that November 15th we were at 16,289 points, so not missing a lot to get there. 3.2%, and we are back at the previous high point. Yeah, so DAX, German DAX is still strong, German stocks as well, even if we still have to struggle with the high natural gas prices in the economy. But you have seen US natural gas prices were dropping and probably found the bottom here, so hopefully, because yeah, it's not too good to have too low prices. And yeah, Wix is trading still below 20 here, 19.3, sideways here, and it will probably drop again after CPI news, because then the fear will go out of the market if the inflation is in line with the expectation. So let's prepare our charts for Nasdaq. No, not this one, but this one. Euro US dollar, just some word about this. So 1092, so still below the 110 level, but we will probably retest it soon. And now back to our Nasdaq chart here. Let's see if we can go below the previous lows here with the news. Still not out the news. We still have 30 seconds left, but the market is already moving. So let's see which direction the market wants to take on CPI news. We can have 200 to 300 points movement here in Nasdaq with the news. And the news are out now, and we are pushing to the upside, so probably the inflation is lower than expected. Let's see. Not showing yet here. Is it already here? No, not showing yet. Monthly number 0.1% instead of 0.2, and the yearly number 5% instead of 5.2%. This is what the market wants to see, and this was a 120 point movement, so pretty nice. but I'm still expecting the market to go to lower levels because soon the market will see that we will get into a recession with these high interest rate levels. So now we should have less fear of higher interest rate levels. Let's go back to this here and see the expectations. If it already moved from 76% down to 73.8%, but it will probably go lower with the lower inflation rate here. 0.2 percentage points lower than expected. This is a pretty good number. But overall, the first direction can still be the wrong one and then turn into negative territory later. So always be prepared for everything here. We can see movement in both directions and therefore be cautious. Nice doji here. Let's see if it closes there. Yes, it closed there. Let's see if the market can pull back now or wants to turn higher. So we are above the pre-market highs, but still trading below the highs of yesterday. But almost reached the high point yesterday, 13,209 points, and today 13,000. Oh, it was above 13,212 points. So it was rejected at the high of yesterday. So an interesting level. It was also a high point on Monday during the Asian session here. So it's an interesting level to see a pullback from there. But for now, it's in favor of the bulls. 13,200 level. So next target to the upside. Let's go to the daily time frame again. So here to the upside, the previous high point, 13,348 points. This can be an interesting one, but maybe we won't reach it today. 13,247 was the high point from April 5th. And we are still sideways trading. As you can see, we weren't able to get above these levels here in the previous 5 trading days. So it will be interesting to see if we will manage to go higher today or if we will retest the 13,000 to the downside. Let's go to lower time frame again. Really green candle on a 5-minute time frame. Still pushing to the upside. Always stay patient and wait for nice entry levels to come. So let's talk about the other commodities first and then come back to Nasdaq. So for wheat here, it's downtrending, still in this sideways phase here. I tried to catch the breakout here, but unfortunately we were rejected here and are trading lower now. But I'm still break even with my option trade. I sold a 585 strike short put and I bought a 700 strike long call. And yeah, so I didn't lose any money here, but I want to close this trade in the next 2 weeks. So hopefully we will see a retest of the previous highs and a final breakout. Then I can close this trade with a profit. My short put is already at 70% profit, so I will close out the put soon to not risk anything to the downside. And with my long call, my max loss is only the premium I paid. So I will wait if we will retest the 700 level or go above again. This can happen pretty fast, as you have seen here. In just 4 trading days, we went from lows here to highs here. This was a 10% move in just 4 trading days for the wheat price. So Still some movement here. I will just sit and wait here with my risk reversal trade in wheat. Then we have, where is it? I'm still watching sugar and orange juice. Here, sugar. Sugar was uptrending in the previous trading sessions. As you can see, only green candles. Today is the first day with a red candle here, minus 1%. But it's not over yet, so we will have to wait for the opening of the US market and see if we finally will close lower today. We had a high point today of 24.85, so let's see if this is the final high point, but it's not looking like a downtrend yet, so I will still wait for a clear signal of a downtrend and then short it again. So not trading it right now, but still on my watch list. Orange juice as well on my watch list, the same like sugar, so higher highs today, still uptrending and waiting here for lower levels to come. It was looking good on Monday, but then we had the next green candle and we are trying to push higher today. So no close above the previous high points, but yeah, we already made new highs. So I would wait here with orange juice to see if we will break out to the upside again, or if we will finally go to lower levels, and then I can take on shorts again. So this one as well, like sugar, on my watch list for a short. Back to euro US dollar. So we are uptrending near the 110 level. This is our target point. So interesting as well to take some shorts there. So on a weekly time frame, you clearly see the previous high point here. This should be a rejection level, 110.33. So I wouldn't wait for the exact same price level to come. So I would short it a little bit earlier, maybe right above the 110 area. Take the first shorts. This should be a clear rejection area here, a clear resistance zone. So I would short right into this area for lower levels to come again. Yeah, pretty nice level here, pretty nice round level. So probably some stop losses sitting there, which can be triggered, and then we will see the turn to the downside again. The same like Nasdaq. So testing the high points, then triggering some stop losses there, and then turning to the downside again. So here it's better with a 1 minute chart. So now we retested the previous high points, 13,241 points, and turning to the downside now. Let's see if we can see a retest of the 9 EMA here on a 1 minute time frame, or on a 5 minute time frame. It's the first red candle, but it didn't close yet. I would always wait on higher time frames like 5 or 15 minutes. If you're not a day trader, then you can wait for even higher candles to close to get a clearer picture of the direction here. $13,200. Let's see if we can see a 100% reversal before the market opens. It's not really weak today, but we will probably see some pullback here to 20 EMA or even VWAP. 9 EMA first here, 12,200 level. Let's see ES future as well. ES future on a 5 minute time frame. So high point 4,177 points, pulling back now. And the previous high point was 4,171. So we made new highs here above the previous high points, but were rejected from these. So also an interesting level here. Crude oil uptrending, so trying to get back to the 83 level now. So when the stock market is going up, then crude oil as well is going higher. So this is a 1% move for crude oil on CPI news. And we are near the next resistance. So we are in the resistance zone now. And the previous high point was $83.04. So pretty near. I would short right there. This is an interesting level to take on a short trade. Let's see the bonds. TLT ETF also uptrending, 0.6% higher today. This is interesting because the market is expecting lower interest rates. Then the bond prices should go higher. Let's see CME FedWatch tool now. 63%, so it went down by 13 percentage points now and shifted back to no change. But it's still higher probability for 25 basis points move. Going sideways now near the 13,200 level. We had another commodity last week here, soybean meal. I was trading it to the long side here and exited here, and now we can see it was a really perfect exit, almost perfect. So I didn't catch the high point, but I exited here at the yellow line, and this was a real nice exit because here you see the rejection at the 50% Fibonacci level, which was sitting at the previous low point here. So it was an interesting level to exit a long trade because you can see here I made 7% in just 6 trading days, and this was a really nice trade here. Then we went back to the next Fibonacci, 23.6%. We're sideways trading and now we are uptrending again. So let's see on the next move if we can break the previous highs or if we will make a double top. So if there will be a double top, then it's interesting to take on a short trade because the commercials in the soybean meal are still short here. But I will wait if we can break above or if we will make another top here and then see a double top at about the same price area, and then I can take on a short trade here in soybean meal futures. If you have some other stocks you want me to analyze, just write them down in the chat. I have still some short calls on this bank stock here. First Citizen tried several times to get above the $1,000 area, high points at $1,016.66, but struggled there in the previous trading days, and you see the implied volatility isn't moving to the upside again. So I closed yesterday right before the closing one of my short calls with 80% profit. And again, this is an interesting thing to trade here, not the stock directionally, but an option because of the high implied volatility we have seen here on the first 2 days after the news that they will take some assets from Silicon Valley Bank, and then the implied volatility dropped. So because I sold options, I can profit from the drop in implied volatility here, and I sold 1,140 strikes and 1,060 strike calls. So it's still out of the money, and they are expiring in just 9 trading days, so next week Friday, and therefore I can profit from every day passing by and nothing happening. So like here today, no big movements, and I still have some open short calls with other strikes. They are already at 50% profit, and I will wait for the 80% and then close these trades as well. So it's not really interesting to watch here, slowing down the pace. Let's see if we will retest 20 EMA and VWAP, and then with the opening in about 45 minutes there should be more volume to see again a small bump to the upside, and then maybe see a sell-off below the day's low. So day's low was right before the news, 13,051 points. So let's see if we can sell below this level here. Oh no, there was a lower low here on the European opening, so this one will also be a target. 13,038 points. So still some level here to test. So if we go below the breakout level here from CPI News, then we will retest the pre-market lows. And if we go lower, then probably retest the previous low points near 12,950 points. So 20 EMA was touched, retested. It's still uptrending here. You see the parabolic is still showing an uptrend. ADX as well showing an uptrend on a 1 minute time frame and on a 5 minute time frame as well. But we have more room to the 9 EMA and to the 20 EMA support levels here, as well as to VWAP, the purple line. So I wouldn't expect a sell-off right away here on CPI day, because normally we see a lot of volatility, so a lot of up and down trending. So even if we retouch the breakout level, then we can see a 50 points move to the upside again to retest VWAP from the lower side and then be rejected there and then see the next sell-off. But I wouldn't trade to the long side here just to catch a 100 points move to the upside, because we are close to the previous high points here, and therefore I don't want to swing trade this. Therefore I'm sticking to my short trades and waiting for the next levels to break to the downside and then take on even more shorts. It's looking good, so I will not wait until the opening. We can meet again tomorrow for PPI news. So let's just see our economic calendar one last time. For this week, tomorrow, Thursday, we will have initial jobless claims and PPI news 1 hour before the market opens, 2:30 p.m. my time. So I will live stream these as well, like today at 8:15 a.m. Eastern time. So if you haven't done so far, please subscribe to my channel and please leave me a like if you liked this stream here. If you missed it, then just re-watch it, and we will meet us at the same time tomorrow here for PPI news and initial jobless claims. Hope you will have some decent profits today. Let's have fun together tomorrow. Goodbye, happy trading.